Welcome, Alicia.
Hi.
Alicia Cowan, aliciacowan.com. And this is just a little peek into how Fearless Launching has changed your life. No, but in all seriousness, it's actually been life-changing to meet you and to see like the changes you've gone through personally, and just like see you launch and see everything happen, getting little goosebumps. And I just wanted to hear from you, because when these launches happen of new programs, or the second round or third round or whatever, like I'm kind of overhearing from the person who's all about whatever they're teaching. I want to hear from the people in it. So
Yeah,
thank you for taking time.
it's an absolute pleasure, real pleasure. I'm so excited to be talking to you.
I know, this is gonna be awesome. Okay, so here's the first question that I have for you. And
Okay.
you can be honest, you can just say, not really anything. No, but you can just say what you need to do. Sorry, Ann, not really doing it for me. You can say whatever kind of comes out. Before enrolling in Fearless Launching, what were you being challenged with? What was challenging your business, maybe you personally? What kind of led you to click buy?
Okay. Well, I'm a social media coach and strategist and consultant, and I've been doing that for quite a while, um, and doing it one-to-one and also doing live workshops. But throughout the time that I've been doing it, I'd always wanted to launch an online product to reach more people and to upscale the business. Um, but and I think I've been thinking about it for about a year, and it just wasn't happening for one reason or another. Things were getting in the way, or just I'd set myself a target. Right, this is when I'm going to do it, and I wouldn't do it at all. So, and there was some kind of blockage there, and I'm not really sure what it was. It was a fear of something, but I don't know exactly what. Because that seemed to be the only thing that was stopping me, because I had the knowledge. I knew that I really, really wanted to do it more than anything, but it was just, I was coming up against a blockage and a barrier. So I've been on a couple of other training courses that I thought would help, and they helped in a way, and they were great. They were fantastic for what they were, And in fact, one of them, both of them actually, is where I come. It was through that journey from one course to the next, how I met you. Came across Fearless Launching, and when I found out about Fearless Launching, I was really kind of right. This is kind of my last chance. A bit okay corral. It was like, right, this is it. If I don't pull my shit together for this, or after going through this course, then there's something else that I need to address, and I'm not meant to do it or whatever. So that's really where I was. I was really like, I felt that I needed more than anything, probably. I think at the time, I felt that I had the knowledge and I could actually launch, but it was more like accountability that I needed, or that support of somebody where I could go and say, what happens if this happens? But supposing this doesn't work, and all those little niggly questions that happen. And of course, once I went through the program, I found that I needed Fearless Launching a hell of a lot more, and it was going through the program that made me realise that, wow, I actually didn't know half as much as I thought I did and what I needed.
See, when I hear that, I'm like, You knew a lot, though. You knew a lot. You did. I think you just didn't like. Well, I mean, what? Okay, I'm not going to say you knew a lot. You're wrong. Blah blah blah. But what I want to ask you though is, at the beginning, I remember when you came into the course,
Yeah.
and you identified, or you just expressed that you were having some issues, because you didn't want to. You're very conscious of not wanting to be a copycat,
Yeah.
and actually entering. Obviously, social media is a very crowded space,
Mm-hmm.
but you obviously know your stuff. You do it where you live. You do live events. You do lots of things. Um, how did that shift? Did you shift out of that, or did you just, because I know all I did really was tell you, well, no one's going to be teaching it like you, so don't even worry about
Yeah.
that other person or those people you think that you're going to be copying.
Yeah. I think that was it. I needed someone else to say, listen, you're so wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
it's,
different. Don't worry about it.
yeah, don't even worry about it. That is just like the last thing you need to be worrying about. And I think I needed to hear that from somebody else, you know.
Yeah.
So it did. And once I had that, once you told me off,
Once I told you all. You're
I
so
was like,
funny.
okay, listen to Mama
Yeah.
Anne.
It's so funny how people call me mama. You're not the only one. It's happened for years, actually.
That's it. I think you've got a really nurturing presence, and that came out in the group so much. You know, we were all like flapping around, going, what are we doing? And you were there, calm.
Hush, little baby.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry about it. It's all cool. We got it.
Well, I tried. I tried my best. So, okay. Okay, so you got past that kind of thing. You realized what you're like, well, maybe that's been holding me back, fear. What were some of the really specific things that happened? Like, you can be as specific, like as in numbers or percentages, or like, like what has changed since then in your business? Did your list grow? Did you get to did you launch? What happened?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, um, I learned a whole lot. Like, as I said, I didn't. I thought that I knew, and I would have been able to launch without it. I didn't have I think, but it wouldn't have been half as successful as it was. I don't think without you guys. So, so I learned a whole lot, especially about support and asking for help and having other people in your team. That was something that I hadn't really kind of considered so much.
Mm-hmm.
My list definitely grew. You know, it actually. I was looking at my numbers just before we spoke actually, and it's doubled since then.
That's great.
And you know, I mean, I think we've got a similar feeling about numbers in that it's not. You know, they're not numbers; they're people, right? They're
Right.
you know, and not so much about the numbers. And that's certainly something that I teach myself is that people are always going after, I need more Twitter followers, I need more Facebook fans, and all of that. And it's not about that. It's about the community and the kind of relationships that you build. So, but I mean, I'm really pleased with that. I'm really pleased that I've doubled my list, and I hadn't really done anything other than the launch. I wasn't looking at list building. I wasn't doing loads of webinars to do that. So, so that's great that that's happened. And I just see, the business going in the direction that I've wanted for so long. I stumbled over this for a year or so, and it felt like I was never going to get there. And now I know I've got the confidence to build on that and to keep going and create more stuff. So it's really exciting. It's a really exciting time for me.
Yeah, it is actually really exciting for me to watch, like I said before. And I'm curious, how do you feel? Like, I know you said you set launch goals for yourself before, and you just weren't following through on them. What was the difference really the support this time around? Because I know that there's like, the community for Facebook, the Facebook community really grew, was totally like a mind meld. It just kind of became this magical place where it was okay to say when things weren't going right or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what made the difference?
Yeah, definitely. It made a huge difference. But also the way that you'd set out the course. It was a real kind of step by step. And all of those things that the information that you were providing us and telling us and like saying, right, this is really important that you need to have this in place. And it's like, okay, so you don't learn that from anywhere else. I didn't, and even little things. There was a little nugget in there that you told us very early on about that calculation. That's like, that totally blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, and it was so useful. So I knew that when I knew the numbers that I could look at and what were realistic numbers for me to launch on.
Yeah, I think you're probably the one who was most successful at setting real numbers. Because I remember at the beginning when people were setting their goals, everybody had these crazy goals, but they only had, let's say, a really small list.
Yeah.
And that's like, there was a lot of like, kind of, what's going on here? And I always felt like your numbers were like right on. And I think that showed when you actually did launch and you exceeded that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yay.
Yay. Okay. So what would you tell then someone like who actually no. First of all, who do you really do you think this is best for someone who has a really clear idea of what they want to launch? Or what do you think? I mean,
Um,
because I think there's a beginner's aspect to it, but
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think that I don't think it matters where you are on the journey. If you want to launch and you want it to be successful, whether you're right at the beginning of your business or you don't know what you want to launch, you haven't got it quite clear, or you're very clear, like I was. I knew what I wanted to do. I think that it helps wherever you are, and it doesn't even have to be. I know that within the group there are people that weren't necessarily launching a product or an online product, but they were looking to launch a website or a new
mm-hmm.
business, or so. And I guess coming into fearless launching, I was expecting everybody to be wanting to launch online products, but they
Right.
weren't. That was really refreshing. That it was a whole gamut of all sorts of different things going on. Um, so yeah, I think that it works across the board. And even if you've launched before and you've done it by the seat of your pants and it wasn't as successful as you hoped it would be, and you
Yeah.
thought, I want to launch again, I want to try again, then absolutely, I would absolutely recommend it.
Yeah. And then how now I know that you're planning like your next one down the
Mm-hmm.
road. And I feel like you probably feel like a little bit more prepared for that.
Yeah.
I love it. But funny thing is, like right now, Alicia, this is the first time I've seen you at ease. And I know it's at summer, but like during that period of time when you were like trying to squeak that launch out, like it was like pushing against everything you had. And like now I'm like, woohoo! You look
Yeah.
like you're just like, okay, yeah, I'm planning my launch. It's happening. Whatever, you know?
I'm having a bit of a holiday in
Yeah.
between, but it's because of the launch that I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I was breaking through so many. I was way beyond my comfort zone going through that,
Hmm.
and I know and I know through the first launch, um, it would have been, as I said, I could have done it on my own, but it wouldn't. It would have been really tough. I would have found it really hard if I couldn't have gone somewhere and kind of, hung out with people or spoken to people or spoken to you that are going through the
Exploded.
same thing. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, what am I doing? Um, and and knowing that I had that support and that all those kind of people, with me and supporting me and helping me through it. I mean, it just wouldn't have been half as much fun for sure,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't have been as successful a launch.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see you do your next round. And if anybody wants to check that out, is your interest page up?
It is.
Okay. I'm just making sure. If you want to go to Twitter Brilliance,
It's
what is the
um,
URL?
the list is aliciacowan.com. Get on the list.
Get on the list. I
Get on the
love
list.
it. And check it out. She's got a great Twitter program, but she teaches it in a very interesting way. And actually some of the girls I think in Fearless Launching were in the program, your program. So,
Yes.
anyways, I'm just excited to see where you go. And I'm so happy that you did it, and bam, now you're taking a little holiday and now like you really look like you're refreshed. And so you're ready for that next one.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
get to be inside
definitely.
Fearless Launching again, so you'll have that support
Yeah.
again on the next round.
And I can't wait for that to launch. I'm really excited to see the people that come in and join, to see where they're at, and hopefully, be able to help some of them and support them through their launch as well.
Yeah,
I'm really looking
definitely.
forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. All right, I think that's all I'm going to ask you today. I really appreciate it again. And if anybody has any questions for Alicia, please leave them below the video here. I wanted to share you with her story, like I said, because it doesn't matter what I say. It really doesn't. I mean, it does. It doesn't, though. I created the course, but what happens and the value of something, really, it's about who goes through it, what they get from it that's important. So